Hey, how's it going, Unpluggers? Time for another step in our journey together. Today in Habits Unplugged, we're going to be focusing on a serious issue, the damage that you can do to our livers. I've done a video about this before, but I got another comment on that video, and this was from David Williams, and he had a question about, I thought it would be helpful to address it here. So David's comment went like this. He said, with the type of cirrhosis that you have, are you still expecting a normal lifespan and a mostly normal liver function, or does it get worse as you age? 42 here, 20 years drinking, stopped in January this year. Always wondered about my liver, if I can, or if it can heal. So firstly, remember, David, I'm not a doctor and this isn't medical advice. That doesn't stop me from sharing my experiences with you, right? So that's basically what these videos are. It's just sharing my experiences with you, sharing what I know and what other people have told me, what I know about myself, what I've been told by my own doctors. When I first found out that I had cirrhosis, and it's mild scarring, right? It was defined as mild, slightly scarred or compensated, to give it a medical label. And compensated just means that there's damage, there's scarring, but my liver's still able to do its job, right? Because other non-damaged parts of the liver have stepped up and kind of helping out. It kind of reminds me of when I was working a crew in Ireland, when I was running my forestry business. If one of our lads didn't turn up because they were out sick or something, somebody else or the rest of us had to pick up the slack because we wouldn't get the job done otherwise, It's the same thing here. Healthy parts of the damaged liver, thankfully, are going to be able to compensate for the parts that are too scarred to function anymore. Here's the kicker though. Compensated, that kind of damage comes with a caveat, and I think it's a big one for me. As yet, there's no cure for any type of scarring in the liver. So it means that I got to be thoughtful about what I do. I've got to treat my liver with some kind of respect now. And I should have been respecting my body all along, if I'm being honest. But again, it is what it is. There's no point in crying over something that I really can do nothing about, right? I have to take 100% responsibility for everything that I've done up until this stage, for every drop of alcohol that has passed by these lips. I got to own the consequences of that as well. So, like I said, it is what it is. So the biggest way I can take care of myself now, of my liver now, is by watching what I put into my mouth. Booze is out, obviously. I don't touch any other kinds of drugs. I don't even use supplements, but that's my thing. It's up to you whether you do that, but just check it out. Make sure that it's not going to damage your liver. I aim mostly for whole foods in my diet, which means that when I look at my plate, I recognize everything that's on it. If I'm cooking with something, I don't cook with it unless I recognize it as a food, right? So I recognize all the ingredients. I eat a wide range of different foods. And in terms of what I leave out, I take it easy on the processed junk food, a little bit every now and then, not too bad. I grew up with a sweet tooth. My dad was always baking pies and cakes. So that's my weakness. Anything with refined flour and sugar, these things are not going to help your liver, especially if you're eating a lot. So, I tend to keep that down to a minimum. Tend to do something like that once every couple of months. My birthday's coming up soon, so definitely going to have a bit of cake then. So, trust me, it's not easy to do this, but I remember in the early days after I'd stopped drinking alcohol, and I was constantly craving sugary foods. And I didn't understand it at the time, but I learned since that it was my body's way of trying to replace the sugar I'd used from that I used to get from alcohol. Plus, it's the mind's way of trying to still get that dopamine fix. When there's alcohol messing up those dopamine levels, you take the alcohol out of the system anymore, your dopamine levels are still wonky, So your brain, your mind is trying to get you to get a little bit of dopamine fix so you can feel good, isn't it? It's all about feeling good and going away from the discomfort. That's what we always talk about, the discomfort here. You've got to push yourself through that discomfort. But if you persist with this, you soon get that system, that dopamine system working again. So don't worry about that, right? As for my life expectancy, I'm expecting to live a normal lifespan. I've had a chat with my doctor about this, and she said it shouldn't affect me in any way, because I've made so many other simple changes in my life in the grand scheme of things. But I think effective changes nonetheless. I'm expecting to live quite a bit longer than I would have done if I hadn't have stopped drinking alcohol, and that's the point. No expanding quantity of life. I want to expand the quality of my life as well. So even though I've got a bit of a damaged liver, I still think I can do that, right? It's a good early warning system now. If I eat too much crap, it tells me straight away. Getting the alcohol out of your mouth is the crucial first step to any of this stuff, right? It matters what you do afterwards just as much. Stop the flow, do the work, move on. One of the big benefits of stopping drinking has been just developing a healthy mindfulness about what I do. I'm always looking for ways that I can improve myself overall. You have to keep on the healthy path, always trying to push yourselves forwards, onwards and upwards, right? So, look, David, first of all, congrats on making the decision to stop drinking this year. That's a massive step in the right direction and a big vote for your health, right? And about your liver, mate, I believe it's got a good fighting chance to heal if you do the right things. Remember, I can't give you a diagnosis, right? This is not a diagnosis. You've got to see a doctor for that. But based on what I've seen and experienced, the body's got an incredible capacity to rejuvenate. And we can be our own worst enemies in this thing. And there's so many opportunities to do that these days, right? There's so many temptations. There's so many companies who are designing products that are solely designed to tempt you into eating the wrong things, drinking the wrong things. The opposite is also true, right? So if you, David, or any of the other unpluggers here need guidance on starting this journey, we've got a free course still. It's still free, the Beginner's Guide to Getting and Staying Sober. The link's in the description below. It's a great starting point for anyone who wants to quit drinking and needs some positive direction, right? I'm going to continue. We're on top of the mountain here, so I'm not going to continue climbing. We're going to go down that way. And wishing you the best of luck, David. Thanks for the message again. I hope everything turns out well for you. I'm sure it will. And to all the unpluggers out there, remember that we're on this journey together. We're here to challenge our habits, question our past actions, and make better choices that are going to lead us to healthier and happier lives. So take care of yourself, onwards and upwards. Bye now.